It's Charles.
Yeah, there we go.
It's Max. Welcome back, and man, so far we've already had a bunch of killer sets. If you missed out on MK Leo versus Ouch, I highly recommend that set. An amazing set. But we're going to move on in this top 128 bracket. We've got all the killers from all over the world fighting to the death out here in Battle of BC5.
And man, you want to talk about all over the world. We're about to have yet another international match.
Another one.
I don't think we've had two players from the same country go at it yet. We're going to have Canada versus Spain. It's going to be Riddles and Siski. So two very different types of characters, right? We have Kazuya on one hand, or Terry, you know, those fighting game characters. They've got pretty much automatic combos that will destroy you.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have Samus, who's all about control, right? And I think Samus is uniquely fit to beat a character like Kazuya, right? You have such good ledge traps, such good keep away, amazing normals as well. But if you get hit, it's not so bad because you're very floaty and you're heavy. So it's going to be a little harder for Riddles to land the touches of death on Siski. And should he decide to go Terry instead of Kazuya, Siski has plenty of practice against Andres FN, one of the other best players in Spain. I saw them grinding yesterday for like an hour straight during my commentary block right off by the quad stream. So no surprises here on the part of Siski if we see the Terry. Kazuya, I'm not sure. I'm not sure like how much he's played against Tarek, for example, who's the best Kazuya in Europe, to my knowledge. You know, Spain and Germany, they're not too far, but they're not too close. So I really don't know which character Riddles is going to go with. I think Terry probably fares better on paper, but it all comes down to what he's feeling, right? We've seen Riddles make these switches in a lot of different positions that might not make sense necessarily, but it usually works out for him. Like, his intuition on his character choice is always pretty solid. It looks like it's going to be Kazuya for game one.
Yeah, and Riddles is famous for reverse 3-0ing someone after he switches his character, whether it be the switch to Kazuya, whether it be the switch to Terry. And like you mentioned, Terry going to be more of that mobile type fighting game character, but Kazuya, you're going to get more bang for your buck, right, on these connections. Electric, obviously one of the best combo tools in Ultimate here, but we'll see how Siski does. I mean, Sam is a character that has kind of ticked up in popularity, right? And we even see players like Yahuda getting the upset on Spargo at Cobra Ruby 10.
Dude, I also would love to point out that Siski is playing regular Samus instead of Dark Samus, which he plays almost exclusively. Yeah. The differences between them are almost non-existent, but one really does matter, and that's the size and shape of her hurt box during her double jump.
Yes.
So maybe Siski particularly chose regular Samus to shrink out of some combos from Kazuya when he spends that jump.
Yeah, and one of the main reversals from ledge that Kazuya is going to go for is that jump or ledge jump into the side special. And, I mean, Samus Bomb always going to be there, or the threat of charge shot really going to shut down that reversal from Kazuya from the ledge. So we'll see. It's going to be really hard for Riddles just to get in general. Goes for the ledge roll, gets covered with the uppy, but Kazuya extremely heavy. I always say that it's Bowser in a suit, the charge shot to the face, and Siski going to take stock one.
That was quite nice from him. Like we said, control-based character, right? Once you get to the ledge, you often don't make it back to center stage. Kazuya kind of short on options for that position in general. We saw the charge shot trade with the laser from Kazuya as well. Clearly, there's a winner in that exchange, and it's going to be Siski. Oh, the missile with punishing the electric right there, and suddenly lapping Riddles in percent. This is looking so good for him game one.
Yeah, and I think Riddles is only at this point connected one or two electrics. Oh, going to get back to the ledge here. Siski taking his time. There's so much to respect there, but going to ledge jump over the punch there and getting the charge shot.
Oh, and the raw call out with another one.
All right, we might see the early switch to Terry right now, because right now, I mean, Riddles can't get anything started. Finally connects the electric into the back air, but you're down an entire stock, and I think Siski is going to stick to the strategy, not trying to get electric right now.
This is normally where we would say, hey, one grab and it could be even. But, again, completing those death combos on Samus, due to her weight, due to her floatiness, due to her amazing escape tools like up B, it's much easier said than done. I really don't feel like Riddles is going to be able to rely on that throughout this set. He's got to get it done the hard way.
Oh, almost catching the air dodge with that up tilt, setting up the power missile for the tech chase, and this is the optimization we're seeing from these Samus players, right? Going for the charge shot here. Yeah, just holding that stage control as long as you don't get reversaled, and catching the lazy laser. I always like to call it the lazy laser. And a lot more players are getting more adverse to that and getting punishes on it, because a lot of times Kazuya will go for that free stall, and no players are really in position to go ahead and punish that. But Samus, well, you can punish that from halfway across stage with that charge shot, right? So a little bit more luxury in terms of positioning.
As long as you're on the same horizontal plane as him, you can punish it with Samus.
There you go. There you go.
So, yeah, I mean, that was a pretty dominant game one from Siski. I mean, let's not forget, this guy had one of the best 2021 seasons of pretty much anybody, making it, I believe, to 9th place at the Smash World Tour Championship. just killer runs along the way as well. And he helped put Samus back on the map. I mean, it's long been Quick from Germany, who's been considered the best European Samus. Siski came out in a big way, put himself on the map, and here he is against one of the top 10 in the world, doing amazing stuff to start the set off. I don't know, Riddles, sticking with the Kazuya, not sure if I like it, but he does really like Hollow Bastion. Oh, you're still alive. Yeah, okay.
I thought the chop was going to be the end of that first stock for Siski, but not going to be enough. That down smash is going to be one of the few smash attacks that goes for that spike, right? Very similar to Bayonetta. Also having the armor on smash attacks helps a lot too.
Trying to slap all his troubles away with the slap chop.
But here's the bomb, the patent.
Yep, you got to stop doing that, Riddles. Siski is ready for it. Oh, and it looked like he was ready for that air dodge to the ledge. He knew that was Riddles' last resort to get back, but just a little too late on letting it rip.
And it's a great thing to point out as well is we have Quick here, we have Siski here, and we have Yauta here. Yeah. So a lot of the Samuses, I mean, pretty much every single Samus in contention for best Samus in the world is here. So I can't wait to see the placements after this tournament to kind of not really settle it, but, you know, put a little bit more information down on the table, right?
Add some context, let's say.
Yeah, a little bit of context.
I'm not going to lie, man. I think Yaura is the front runner in my brain. I've watched a couple of his sets over the past few weeks. You know, that Golden Week marathon of tournaments that every Japanese player showed up to, and he really impressed me. But that said, Siski, he's been on my radar for a long time, and for good reason. Look at what he's doing to Riddles right now. My God, 90% and counting on the second stock already. How do you get back from this?
Okay, not going to catch the ledge roll. The rage drive is online here. Finally, Riddles feels like a little bit of stabilization here with the rage drive. Everything going on point here, and now finally going to level the playing field in terms of stock count, but the percentage a little bit different.
And you have the rage drive intact as well. So if Riddles is able to tack on, let's say, 80% and just lands any version of that rage drive near the corner on Samus, it's curtains. Kazuya, obviously insane X Factor, really good at making these comebacks, but not when you're not glowing red anymore. Now, once again, he has to get it done the hard way. Really gonna have to work for this kill. And yeah, you have only up B left. Wow, circumnavigating the bombs perfectly right there. That's kind of reminiscent of Game & Watch's Bacon, right? It does the ledge trap for you, but yeah, if Siski's not able to land that final piece of the puzzle, he's not going to find a kill. Still
alive here. Can you utilize this rage, Riddles, to get some kind of convergence, some kind of electric opening? And the answer is no. Siski is so clean with this advantage state, with the ledge trap, with the offstage, and just, again, not a lot of electric connecting for Riddles, forcing Riddles to use some of these aerials for approach, up airs, fairs, nairs, and still trying to convert off it, but just not getting too much.
Oh, no.
Okay, low percent, the back air doesn't connect, but right back to the ledge. Here is a conversion here on to the platform, but Siski getting both hits of that neutral. I love the shield pressure.
Siski in such a winning position at this point. Oh, wow, not even dropping the bomb, just looking for a spike. Want to finish that game off, or at least set up a tech chase if Riddles pick jump from the ledge. Oh, hold on, greedy option to get back, though. Riddles going to connect with the side B, but not the crumple. That could have been huge for him.
Here's the electric. Oh, waits a little bit, maybe not having faith in that electric. Kind of Deers in the spotlight here. Okay, going to the ledge with the side B, gonna wait out the bomb, the regrab, and that's one thing you can punish your opponent for. If they're at roll distance, are they ready to punish the regrab?
Yeah, that's typically a get out of jail free card unless your opponent is plugged in and they know that you're living in fear of them, right?
Right.
That said, if I'm Riddles, I'm certainly living in fear of Siski. 2 very solid games in a row. The Kazuya really not showing up, and I think, Charles, this is where we're going to see the Terry. When he's pushed to his limits, when he's down 0-2, it's very typical of Riddles to switch it up. And, you know, not only was he not landing a lot of electrics, he was not getting a lot out of his electrics. We saw one electric to back air kill, and then everything else was kind of just very middling in terms of how much reward he got. But
wow, sticking it out with the Kazuya. Very interesting pick coming out from Riddles. Like you said, traditionally, this is the turning point where we see Riddles switch either from Terry to Kazuya or Kazuya to Terry, but going to stick it out, have faith with the Kazuya here. And I think Riddles just has to realistically be more ready for these confirms. We've seen Riddles get a handful of openings, but we usually see Riddles go much farther with these openings. And maybe Riddles is putting so much mental effort, his mental stack being occupied by getting the hit, he's not really converting when he does get the hit, right? But maybe we could see a switch up here on game 3.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Riddle's got to dig deep for something. Again, the combo game not being what it's supposed to for Kazuya, right? Dealing with this super floaty character, and also you're just denied so many opportunities to open her up in the first place. These projectiles, the normals even from Samus are a lot longer than Kazuya's, and that's just such a thorn in Riddles' side. Not the best DI on that up B either, but fortunately still a low enough percent that it didn't matter.
Tries to go for the grab here. Again, the cross-up with the Nair getting both hits. Siski, a master of this character, setting up the bomb and the charge shot to follow, barely surviving, but the double jump gets burned. We are going high to the sky, directional air dodge to the ledge. No, the roll does not get punished. Riddles is back on.
Yeah, the C-stick betraying Siski right there. That's something that happens a little more than you'd like it to in this game, but Hell's Gate gonna send her straight to hell, or at least to the East Coast. What's the difference?
All right, the up air is still not enough. The forward air should do the trick. Surely, even if you're Kazuya at 180% center stage, now even in stocks here, the down throw using the intangibility of the throw, the sequence throw, if you will.
Yeah, the camera angle shift, man. I still don't like that. I'm going to just say it right now. Why does he get a special camera shot for his throw, dude? Like, it's not that serious. Just combo me in peace.
It's because it's Bandai, baby.
Yeah, right. That's true. They did work on the game, so a little self-insert there for Harada, I guess. Either way, we're going to see Riddles finally not just up, but up in a big way. Very healthy second stock, still alive for him here. Okay, finally get some good reward, but it's only 35 at the end of the day. Oh, never mind.
Can you make it
Never
back?
mind.
We talked about the punish game, and you know what? I think Riddles up the punish game just a tad bit on that game number 3. We saw the Electra's connected. We saw Riddles on stage more, just in general, right? The first 2 games, it always just felt like Riddles was on the ledge, off stage, and I think Riddles really tightening up the neutral, and on top of that, tightening up the punish game, and sticking it out with Kazuya. We were doubting it.
Yeah.
And Riddles just having faith, knowing exactly the mistakes he made, knew exactly the adjustments he needs to make. Now he finds himself in a game number 4 with a little bit of momentum. We'll see if he can ride that momentum all the way to game 5. And honestly, this is going to be one of the harder draws for Riddles when it comes to his character lineup. A character like Samus is going to be a thorn in Riddles' side when it comes to his character lineup.
Exactly. Like, Kazuya and Terry, don't get me wrong, they're great characters, right? But they don't exactly cover each other's weaknesses. I feel like they lose to a lot of the same character archetypes, and that's really unfortunate for a player like Riddles. Sometimes you are going to run into these really good players of, say, zoners, right? Yeah. Or like a Game & Watch that both Kazuya and Terry have an awful time with. And as one of the best players in the world, when other top-level guys like Siski, like Meister and Mia, for example, are all over the place in the later portions of bracket, you need some kind of recipe for success. We're going to see him get away with the laser stall that time. Okay, he's back at center. Jab, jab. Oh, looking for a crumple. He wanted everything right there. Instead, he gets absolutely nothing other than a back air to the face. 1 stock down. 75% though, it's still doable. The bombs are just always going to be in the way though. It feels so impossible for Riddles to get a clean hit.
Yeah, and Riddles really gambling it on that reset, using the armor to go through the bomb there, and that is a command grab you can use in the air, that down special, right? You can also use the input for that added knockback and damage here. Going to go ahead and reflect the missile with the kick.
Yeah, but Siski ready for that. He's like, all right, I'm jumping right over my own missile just in case you send it back my way. Riddles, if you land an electric anywhere near the corner, it's going to be huge for you, but Siski knows that Riddles is desperate to get in, catching these tech rolls to center, for example. Oh, and the air dodge even. Yeah, that's a Canadian air dodge right there, bro. Yeah, and
right now, Riddles is struggling so much in this game number 4. Had amazing adjustments coming into game 3, but Siski just answering back with adjustments of his own on this game 4, and now racking up a 3-stock maybe? Okay, Riddles going to answer back with the command grab, but it's still not enough. Has the ledge trap here.
It's just like, how do you come back from this? Oh no, Riddle's slipping off the ledge. He certainly didn't want that. The jab not killing, but the laser will do the job. Okay, we just need 1-0 to death. And then we're looking at a real set, Charles. But I don't know, Siski, he's camping the top platform, now camping the center platform, just raining bombs on top of Riddle's head. Yeah.
I mean, essentially the bomb insurance, right? But using the armor from the grab into another throw, the electric onto the platform, no. But Riddles still catching it, getting the kick into the electric, the up he should. No, the back air is going to be the answer. You asked for a 0 to death max. Well, Riddles is going to deliver.
All right, here it is, Charles. Down to the last stock, potentially last game in winner's bracket for Riddles. And I don't know, as I see those percents climb, oh my God, Town and City with the short horizontal boundaries. You saw it work out for Riddles, but then you saw it work against him immediately after. Still though, great set. You felt the back and forth, the push and pull of the set a little bit, especially once we got to game 3. Looks like Riddles woke up. He came alive, you know, adapting to the matchup, but Siski just a little bit too much of a force for him to get through.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of times where Siski was able to get a roll read or get an air dodge read after a reset and get the down air into the back air, but a lot of the time it was the sour hit of the back air, right? And Yoda, when Yoda got the upset onto Spargo, we saw a lot of confirms from down air into back air, you need that sweet spot though, right? This time, Siski getting the sweet spot on that back air, and we see how powerful that is coming out from Samus. Actually going to be the move to close out the stock, but honestly, a lot of it was just control, like you said, right? Just feels like this hard control character that is just going to put Kazuya in his place and not really let Kazuya in those scramble situations. Kazuya thrives so many or gets so much out of these scramble scenarios just because of how strong Electric is, right?
Yep.
And the risk reward of Electric. But incredible job from Siski using the strengths of Samus. And like you said, that floatiness, it can make it a little different to combo off the Electric and stuff. But we saw Riddles adapt going into Electric, into regrabs and stuff like that, but still just was not enough towards the tail end there.
Yeah, just unable to get enough reward on his hits. I think that's the biggest thing, because it's hard enough to open Samus up in the first place, but then when you're only cashing out for 30, 40 damage as Kazuya, who really thrives and depends on that kind of stuff, other than this notable exception where he completely bodied him. Yeah, it's just going to add up over time. You know, that chip damage from all the projectiles or just the big back airs in the corner, stuff like that. If Samus is not only being harder to hit, but also getting more reward for hitting Kazuya, that's a bad matchup. Tough for Riddles to run into that so early in the bracket, but again, that's the draw. That's the luck of the draw for you. You know, that's a struggle of having a secondary that doesn't really make up for your main's weaknesses.
Yeah, yeah. And to be fair, there's quite a bit of Samuses in this bracket. I mean,
yeah.
the three best in the world
The three
here.
best ones. You know who isn't here is YB. I would have loved to see him come out, but I don't know how active he's been lately.
Yeah, yeah, we got to see YB come out and get 9th at Congo's, or not Congo Saga, but Prime Saga. Yeah, Prime Saga. I was like, wrong Saga. Wrong
No,
game.
Samus Congo's crazy, bro.
Samus Congo.
All right, anyway.
Wow, right into it, though. We got Zamba versus MKLeo. Zamba having a great performance recently at Kagaribi 10, so we'll see if Zamba can carry that over. Oh, we got the double Z catch, slash throw, and saucy conversion there, the side view.
Yeah, it looks like Zamba came back from Japan, a more technical player, right? And that's kind of what he was missing. You see the other Robs, like Anathema, for example, who are just so deadly on hit. And Zamba, you know, he has that great intuition, great neutral play, really good comeback factor as well. I've seen him reverse 3-stock so many people, but he just wasn't optimal on hit. And seeing him go for those double tosses like that, that to me says that Zamba is growing as a player. He's still young. I think he's only like 17. His brain's still a sponge, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He can definitely learn it, and when he does, he'll be even scarier than he was before.
And Rob, a character that we've known is very strong, has been prevalent in the entire lifespan of Ultimate, and the ceiling for this character just gets higher and higher because all of the top 0 to deaths and the combo game for this character just has a very high ceiling, and you want that. It's that timeless insurance, right, as a top tier that you want.
Yep. Oh, by the way, worth pointing out, MKLeo,
double jump.
A ton of experience against this character, against Big Boss. What did Zamba do last night?
Yeah, Zamba, that was the clean 5-0 if I'm not mistaken. Or 5-1.
5-1, yeah.
5-1, but it was close.
And Big Boss with an insane record in Rob Ditto's bracket, right?
Yeah.
So for Zamba to overcome him like that and completely shut him down, I think that just speaks to the fact that he's cooking with a different type of gas than the rest of the Robs out here. So
Wow, perfect
dude.
DI on that backer. You saw even on the top left camera, just all the way to the corner. Not enough space to DI that one, but nonetheless, MKLeo keeping it close here. 2 stocks apiece, low percent.
By the way, shout-outs to Echo Stats. I've got their notifications on for the upsets. The Siski versus Riddle set, upset factor of 4.
Wow, almost hitting that 5 level, which is just absolutely crazy. And we're already expecting a ton of upsets because of the international presence here at Battle of BC 5.
Now, if Zamba beats MKLeo, that's going to be a pretty large upset factor as well. But obviously, still a lot of gameplay left before we decide if that happens or not. So far, it's been going really well for Zamba, though. He took the first stock in a big way, and he's starting to lead again.
There's the top, forcing the offstage situation, the down throw, forcing the side B.
Oh,
no,
what?
But Zamba tries to go for the top conversion into the forward air, but the hitbox of the side B, this should be it, the forward tilt. Great usage of that forward tilt, and Zamba has always been, so good at using that move.
Yeah, and just edge guards in general, right? I feel like I'm not scared of any other Rob more than him off the stage. Pyra and Mithra, that is their signature weakness. Getting back can be really difficult for them, especially against a character like Rob, who literally can fly.
Yeah. And you can double jump out of the up B, which is so strong. Trying to get the reversal, trying to rob MKLeo at 30. Zamba, how dare you?
I know, right? Put some respect on this man's name. But you know what's crazy is Leo just shut down another young up-and-comer's hopes of defeating him, right? In that set with Ouch, we talked about the Wong factor, right? How there's just some aura Leo radiates that makes it very hard to close the set out against him, even if you're leading the whole time, even if you're winning that game 5 by a significant margin. So Zamba, don't rest on your laurels just yet. Even if you win this game 1, even if it looks like you're going to run away with this, you can never let up. One chance is all this guy needs.
And there's so many times, especially with these younger players, that sometimes it might be beneficial if the name tags were off, right? Because sometimes you psych yourself up. It's MK Leo, it's Tweak, it's Spargo, it's Akola. Can I do this? Can I close out this set if the name tags are off? Maybe you could, but that's the whole point of just the amount of pressure that goes into all these brackets. The up tilt, the up air, oh, not going to go for it. Great jump, but the jab block will surely do it. Is it going to be enough? No, the double jump saves you. Force the air dodge. Can you get the edge guard? It's going to be enough. You got to get the tech, and he does just that. Still had the other stock, just in case.
He should have flexed and just not tech. Just let him go. But no, Zamba's like, I'm going to let you know that I got it like that. Also, I saw that slight smirk on Zamba's face. Ah, it's back. You know that you're in trouble when you see him making that expression.
Yeah.
Because this is exactly how it starts. When this kid is feeling good, I would compare him to Cola, right? When he's in the driver's seat, when he knows things are going his way, like there's no stopping him, right? Sure, his mentality could shatter in an instant if something goes terribly wrong, but when he's feeling good, beating him is impossible.
Yeah, and Zamba really making it count with these off-stage interactions, right? I mean, just in general, most players think that Pyramithra does win this matchup. I mean, just that rushdown character, they really suffocate and pressure Rob, but Zamba doing a great job offstage, making so much of his interactions and his neutral wins count for so much.
Pyra and Mithra win this matchup until they get knocked off stage, and then it all comes down to how good the Rob is at finishing those edge guards. Zamba, once again, kind of his specialty. I mean, the Zombair on or off the stage could be a huge threat here to Leo, but it's looking really, really good for MK Leo in this game too. And if you heard that, that is Goblin losing his fucking mind after beating Apollo Kage.
Wow.
So, wow, big props to him.
On the quad stream.
On the quad stream, yeah. AK just sitting there looking probably the most somber I've ever seen him. A player with a great mentality, so, you know, it's definitely a heartbreaker. I'm a big AK fan, but I love Goblin too, so. You hate to see only one of these players able to go further.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the theme of the bracket, right? There's so many amazing players that we want to see in top 8, want to see in that top 24, want to see in that top 16, but every time two players go up against each other, only one can prevail. So we're going to see just that here. And Zamba still up while we're having that sidebar about Goblin's upset. Jeez.
Dude, he was trailing by so much, and then just finding that one corner pressure setup to end Leo's life. Okay. Oh, Leo getting down with the Nair, but still, at this point, you've already taken 60 damage. That's a comfortable enough lead for Zamba to be feeling pretty good about himself.
And I love the foresight punish. I think that's something that Pyramithra, I feel like a lot of players feel, oh, okay, maybe not the highest ceiling, the combo game's not that complex, but I do think foresight optimization is a thing, and Leo using that foresight on the spot dodge to catch that very common Rob neutral air and getting a huge punish out of it, right? But we need to see that at earlier percents, because Zamba's getting to such high percents. It's tanky Rob doing so much work.
I gotta say, I think Leo's the best at using foresight aggressively, period, bar none. And you saw him actually open up this game too with a foresight through the gyro, and it stopped Zamba's laser from firing. He opened him up right off the bat with that. So clearly you're on something, Charles, because it's such a great mechanic, right? How could you take it for granted? But oh no! And how could you forget how to DI Rob's up air in a crucial moment like that? Saw Leo make a kind of silly expression like, yeah, that move's bullshit.
Yeah, that Rob upper can be so tricky. You got to make sure you understand which side you're at. You can use SDI to kind of manipulate that, but the Rob is also using their air drift to kind of mix you up there. Great stuff from Zamba, getting the cross up on the up air. And now, again, we see Zamba in this situation where not necessarily winning in terms of percent, but is able to clutch it up on this last stretch of the stock here. So we are going to see, coming into this final stock, if Zamba can do exactly that, what he did on the first two stocks.
Every single stock of this set, I think, Leo has been winning the initial interactions, and then Zamba is the first to shut it down.
Oh
no. It might be that once again, the forward smash, such a strong move all the way in the corner, and now you just got to get one edge guard. Wow, the shield. Zamba flinched for a second guessing himself. Got a patented Zombair there to knock Leo off stage, and another one to close the game out. 2-0 lead. Second time, I believe oh no, he didn't reverse 3-0. He clutched out game 2.
Yeah.
But wow. We see Leo once again one game away from going to the loser's bracket very early.
Yeah, and this is a player that is in contention for best in the world right now, has been the best in the world for the longest period of time, pretty much up until this point in Ultimate's history, and now Zamba up 2-0 versus Luminosity's own MK Leo. We'll see if Leo can bring this one back. Gonna stick it out with the Pyramithra. We've seen in terms of like the character dilemma that Leo has been through, but it looks like for this tournament, just sticking out with the Aegis.
No, I really like this choice. I feel like this is probably endgame Leo's best character.
Yeah,
in terms
absolutely.
of how good the character is, in terms of how natural she feels in his hands.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time, right? I mean, once again, you said it. Character crisis has been a real issue for him. He switched from Ike to Lucina to Joker to Byleth to whoever, right?
Yeah.
He even tried Meta Knight at Summit a little bit. And yeah, I don't know, man. I think once Leo really dials in and fully commits to this character, it's the best endgame option for him. But there's going to be some growing pains along the way. A loss to Zamba here at Battle of BC might be part of that. Oh.
Yeah. And that's the curse of being so talented, right? We see it with players like Tweak, like Leo, where they can go through all these different characters, and you're so good at the game, and that you can make so many different characters work. But which one is going to be that optimal one for that late game, I think, is what the main thing Leo is thinking of. And I think Aegis is the pick for that.
Right, and you know, the world will sit back in shock as you lose a couple sets. Once again, those growing pains, right? But you got to think long term. Even if this is the hardest tournament ever or of the year or whatever, Leo's not focused just on winning this. He wants to keep winning. That said, he might still end up winning this tournament or winning this set, you know. He's got a long road ahead of him, has to reverse 3-0 Zamba in the process, but so far, this game is very close.
Okay, down to the wire here on this final stock, and usually, from what we've seen in the set, Zamba's the one that clutch it up in this scenario, but we see the Mythra at these higher percents, the down tilt or the up tilt into the up air, utilizing that as a confirm, which is having a confirm at 150 sounds ridiculous, like, oh, I mean, that's not that good, right? But there's so many scenarios when you're playing at top level play where the players are just so good at surviving that it's honestly incredible if your character has a confirm at 150 or 180.
Exactly, right? You don't suffer from arthritis, so
exactly.
to speak. It's like, no matter what, like the window doesn't close, and you'll still be able to combo something into a kill move. That's Mythra's real niche in Leo's playstyle, I think. Obviously, she's so good in the neutral, but when it comes to finishing a high percent stock, nobody does it like him with the Mythra.
Oh, Leo's doing the thing.
He is. He is certainly doing it.
He's doing the thing again.
Yep.
Oh no, Leo's down, everybody.
It's the Wong factor, bro.
Yeah.
Once again, Leo, you just have this feeling where you're like about to beat him and you start losing sight of the match. And it's just like you're thinking about that tweet. You're thinking about that Echo Stats upset thread. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta just keep your head on straight. Focus on what's in front of you. If you had blinders and you didn't know it was Leo and this was just a random Aegis on quick play, you'd be fine.
Right.
But when it's like you're almost worse off when you're up 2-0 against him.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, that's the case, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see if Zamba can beat the statistics, beat the numbers here, because it's a very difficult thing. Ouch, almost did just that, but not going to close it out on that game 5, even up an entire stock. And you can be up an entire stock, you can be up 2 games against Leo, but he's just so good at adapting to these scenarios. And look at this, just so much damage being racked up, 78% the directional air dodge to the platform, just resetting the entire situation here. Leo looking like so much control for this game 3.
And Leo also uses the Chroma Dust and the Ray of Punishment so well to edgeguard his opponents. Obviously, Rob is still going to be able to make it back, right? But just going for one of those trick shots sends a message. It's like, yo, you're not getting back for free, even with Rob against Mythra.
Yeah, I like how you call it a trick shot.
Yeah, it is, bro. Oh my
man.
God. Up air from Mythra, switch on the fly, close the door on game 3 with that Pirate back air. My God. All right, Leo's still here to play, folks.
And when you see the best of the best Aegis, it's not how good one's Mythra is, it's not how good one's Pyra is. You need that for the foundation, but it's the switching in between the two. And being able to switch and also just contain your air drift, right, is so important. And on top of that, you kind of float out in the air. So just like there, Leo was able to switch to the Pyra during the Mythra combo, stay in the air, kind of float there, and was able to get the back air to seal the deal. Amazing juggling in between the two for the advantage, Dave.
Exactly, and in order to get the most out of this character, you've got to use them both. Leo, I think when it comes to switching in kind of unconventional positions and in optimal positions, no one's doing it like him right now. Spargo also kind of putting this character away. He's left it in Leo's hands to push Pyra and Mythra further.
Spargo will use it for a handful of matchups. Like, I don't think Spargo likes to do the Cloud Mirror, so we've seen him bring out Aegis against that. And of course, against the Game & Watch, which is very weird because Cloud traditionally does good against Game & Watch, but Mia definitely showing off that, you know, forcing Spargo to switch here. But of course, we got MK Leo on the sticks against Zamba here for this game number 4. Very close for this opening stock. Down tilt the up air, is it enough? No, Rob's so heavy.
Yeah, but he's big, man, so it's totally fine.
Large and in charge.
Oh, no, hold up. Punishing the catch of the sword right there, and the forward air as well. Leo gonna go down the first stock here. Zamba looking really good. It's like, all right, you know what? I needed to take that one loss to keep me humble. But now that I come back to my senses, I'm going to try to finish this off here.
Using the myth or the foresight into the forward smash again.
Jesus.
The offensive use of foresight. The fact that you can do it out of shield. You can be in shield and then just spot dodge on reaction to the startup of the Nair. And that's something that Rob, I mean, an incredible move, but Neutral, you can react to it. It does have that startup time, right?
Exactly. I think it hits on frame 14, maybe 12, something like that. But it's very much predictable, even if not reactable, right? You know that Rob's one way back to the ground when you're juggling him. So Leo taking full advantage of that, showing off his tech with the foresight punishes. Oh, he's going to switch right back to Mythra, though.
Okay, pretty even in percent here. Rob going to be a little bit heavier, so see if Leo can rack up a bit more damage on this ledge trap, but Zamba coming in with that full jump there, such a patented option out of the corner. I mean, Neutral just covers so much area. The double jump is sniped out.
Done.
And that is it. You cannot make it back to the stage. Back-to-back edge guards coming out from Zamba. Zamba really abusing the weakness of this character.
Yeah, and Rob has so many commitment-free ways to challenge them off stage. Right? Oh, hold on!
Oh,
hold on!
God.
Are you done? Yes, you are! Leo on his winner's bracket life right now, seeking to push a game 5, keeps it dead even against Zamba here. Not even 1% of extra credit, Charles. This could still go either way. Leo with the great read on the get-up attack. His tech chases are so good. And hold on, the ledge trap is going to add up to a lot of damage. 60 and potentially counting. No, Zamba breaking free with the down tilt, but he doesn't get anything off of it.
Man, what a beautiful reset on that platform with the Pyra down air, right? Because the up smash wouldn't have got the kill. So Leo knows that, went for the tech chase on the platform, gets another dare into the up B. That was so fantastic from Leo, just evening things out. And we just seen Leo clutch up with the Pyra so many times.
Oh my God, Zamba biting off a little more than he could chew right there, looking for the the down air through the stage. Wanted to end it right then and there, but Leo a little too patient on the recovery. He's gonna take that gyro, try to use it to his own advantage. All right, couple up airs, and here's the switch to Pyra. This could be the death blow, but no, down air a little too slow. Zamba with the juggle. Is he gonna keep it going? Yes.
Okay, directional air dodge to the ledge here. The back air not going to connect. Yeah, Leo using the floatiness of Pyra, taking his time to get to the ledge, locking up the shield here, getting the footstool. Oh, but fighting back. Oh, not going to connect, though. That up tilt usually connects into the other. Oh, waits for it, but Leo, ironclad patience there.
Both of them, honestly. I thought Zamba was just going to swing, but you know what? Maybe he should have, right? If he had called Leo out. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on! Oh, he still has his jump, but he doesn't tech it, and Leo dropping to Zamba 3-1 before top 24.
Oh, the classic smasher. Leo was very adamant about that fist bump, but the handshake comes out. Zamba with the down air to finish it off. Doesn't get the spike, so Leo gets caught off guard, not going for the tech there. And Zamba defeats Leo in game 4? What's going on?
Dude, the game 4 Leo factor, it's run its course, it almost seems, right? Yeah. Now that people are aware, like, this guy is the god of comebacks, I always have to keep my head on straight. I gotta not lose sight of the goal, which is just taking 3 stocks before he can. Years later, people are finally adapting to Leo's clutch factor and able to shut him down, cut off that comeback before it starts. That gyro placement right there, we can see the replays where you guys can't right now, but it was that gyro on the up B from Pyra catching her on the way down that really just knocked Leo off balance, right? You could see he never really got his feet planted again, not just literally on the stage, but mentally, it looked like he was so unprepared for the entire sequence at the ledge after that. But guys, let's take a look at some of these replays. Zamba played out of his goddamn mind for this set. By the way, I'm gonna say it, this is the new king of New York. And not even because the buzz fell off, just because he moved to Jersey.
Wow, and it's just so insane, and Leo has gotten close already in this bracket against Ouch, was able to clutch it out, but was not able to clutch it out, not even bring it to a game 5 versus Zamba. We talked about Zamba's Kagaribi 10 run and how he did amazing at that tournament, and he's carrying that momentum to Battle of BC 5. Amazing stuff from the young up-and-coming player, and really,
But yo, we got him right here, yo, Zamba.
Oh, snap.
Any words for the fans, bro?
Any words for the fans, Zamba?
I still think Big Boss is better than me.
Oh.
By like a considerable amount.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you agree?
He's so humble.
Yeah, I mean, I am the most humble Super Smash Bros. Player. So.
All right. Very wise words from Zamba. Thank you so much for that. You can tell this kid has been a shitter his whole life, and it's never going to stop. A win on Leo is only going to make it worse.
Yeah, and man, what a set. Zamba able to close it out, and there's so many other players that have brought Leo to that point, but they just couldn't close it out. Zamba saying that he's a cut above the rest and is able to close it out versus Leo. And man, the upsets are starting to brew here in this top 128 bracket, man. And we're seeing it unfolding right now.
You were talking about that magic number 5. I just got the Echo Stats alert. Zombo over Leo's a 5.
Oh, wow. All right, but whether you are a new driver or just looking to brush up on your skills, Atlas Driving School is here to help. There's personalized lessons that are tailored to your unique needs and experience levels, ensuring that you get the most out of your driving instruction. If you are in lower mainland of British Columbia, definitely check them out. And shout out to all the sponsors and partners here at Battle BC5, really making this event happen. I mean, we got one of them right there, Fresh Cuts. I mean, you might want to cut that tail end of the game for it because that was so clutch coming out from Zombo.
Dude, he just had everything working in his favor, right? The gyro there, just the fear factor in Leo saying, I can't go down, I can't get upset factor 5, right? And finally, it happened. But guys, we're going to be right back. Just a quick 5-minute break, and then we got more matches coming your way. You don't want to miss this tournament, so don't leave.